It's a really important uh, battle that we were able to come out on top in, and I thought our resilience, our toughness in that second half was some of the best that we've seen all year. And so I give our young ladies a lot of credit. I think their will was great and found a way to come out on top against a really good Oklahoma State team. And I haven't really had a chance to study the stat sheet to give you all that, but I do believe that Oklahoma State's a team that has five kids who can score, and they may do it in a little different way, but they're a team that we tried to make them play under a little bit of pressure, but boy, they kind of broke that down at times and kicked it out, and kind of they're so smart and so patient and find the open kid. And I thought the one thing that we did a really good job of in this game, versus the last time that we played them, is that we finished plays at a much higher level. That our awareness and our intensity of defensive rebound was a lot better this time around.
Coach, it seemed like through the first two or so quarters, when they ramped up their defensive pressure, it seemed to give your all's ball handlers some fits. But somewhere there in the third quarter, it seemed like that shifted, and their defense didn't bother you guys as much. Did you get that impression, or what was their defense kind of doing?
Well, I thought they're very aware. I certainly, definitely when Maddie and JJ put the ball on the floor, and other kids too, but certainly with those two, they make it really difficult for them to get all the way to the rim. I thought in the first half we probably had at least 14, 15 shots that were around the rim that they were being intentional to wall up and not foul, and we missed a lot of shots around the rim. And I thought our awareness and our ability to finish at the rim was better in the second half. And it wasn't anything that we ran necessarily differently. It was more of our kids. I thought our young ladies did a good job of kind of trying to get themselves in balance, and take a little more time to finish at the rim.
How important was rebounding tonight?
Well, it was a difference for us, in terms of how we didn't rebound against Oklahoma State the last time. And I thought we had a lot of young ladies who were battling and flying around. And there were some stretches of that game that, I thought there were long stretches. That first quarter, there was a media timeout with 8:33 to go, and then all of a sudden not another media timeout. So that was a long stretch. There was a stretch in the third quarter where you could tell both teams were probably getting ready for the media timeout, but all of a sudden it seemed to take another minute and a half to 2 minutes. And there's an intensity. I think both teams play really hard and try to push up the court and attack. And so that there were some real toughness challenges, and rebounding certainly is a toughness battle.
In that vein, ISIS has really stepped up over the last month or so, last couple of weeks. As a coach, does it give you confidence to have that extra depth in the front court going into the postseason?
Oh, absolutely it does. I think she's someone who, and again, we're fortunate because we have three post kids that have different skill sets and match up probably differently and with different types of players. And I thought ISIS came in and we got the ball around the rim, with her, whether it was offensive rebounding, whether it was on a ball screen roll scenario. But she did a really good job of giving us something on both ends of the court. I thought she was really good in some ball screen defensive coverages, made a lot of good things happen for us. But yes, it does give us confidence that we have an opportunity to get the ball around the rim in different ways to score it, and we need to be able to do that. And then at the same time, rebound it.
What was different about your team in the third quarter? You guys went on an 11-0 run to start the third quarter. What was different from going into the half towards the first few minutes of the third when you guys scored the first 11 points?
I think our young ladies attacked in the third quarter with a lot more confidence. As kind of crazy as that may seem, because it wasn't really like it was a different game, but I think there's a reassurance when you're not making shots the rate you want to. It's a matter of, well, are we getting good shots? We felt like we were getting a lot of really good shots. We felt like we left whatever that was, 20 plus points on the board that we could have had potentially. There were a couple loose balls that we didn't get that they scored on. There were some ball screen coverages that they turned the corner on the baseline. And so now you add up those points, you add some points for us, you take some of theirs away. Like it could have been a very different a different game at that point in time. But we didn't do those things, and Oklahoma State is really hard to do those things against. They play really hard. They're very disciplined. They are very aware of where open kids are. So they're really hard to speed up and then take advantage of. But I thought, our confidence in the third quarter to score the ball was a lot better. I really do.
You mentioned in your opening statement the importance of this game. Just in your mind, how important was this win, given postseason's right around the corner, and also with NCAA tournament, you all kind of being on the bubble?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that, one, it's your last home game of the season, and so you want to make sure that you're closing out your home court to the best of your ability. After this, we go on the road and we take on a Baylor team who just went on the road and beat Texas, is playing really, really well. So you want to be playing well before you get into that battle, and then the Big 12 tournament. And you said there are other things riding on it. So there was a lot, and for our players, I thought the best part about it was that we seemed to continue to build some resilience throughout the course of the game. I thought we started the game really well in the first quarter. We started it well in the third quarter, and there were different times that things weren't going our way, and we had different players in at different times to help us, to give us a boost, to do different things, to give us different matchups, and I thought our young ladies really rallied. So it was important for us.
Coach, in terms of what could be out there postseason on the bubble, all the slang talk, how much do you go into that with your team, with your players? Do you even bring that stuff up? Do you have bracketology on the wall or anything like?
Right, and there are different ways to go about doing it. For us, we know where we're at. We've talked about it on one or two occasions, but it's not like that's something we're focusing on, because in my opinion, a lot of times when you want something, and we wanted to be successful, and that's important, and you have to have that high desire. But at the same time, sometimes when you focus on, we have to do this, it's really hard to do that, because you kind of get in your own way, and then you're worrying about the wrong things sometimes, rather than we have to figure out how we're going to guard them in a ball screen. We better figure out how we're going to rebound better than we did last time, because those things are things that can impact how you play. So yeah, we don't really go into it. Obviously, our players know all about those things, and they're following all that too. And I just thought our intensity was really good to finish out that game.
Coach, you finished the year 13-2 at home here at the Coliseum, and you've won 18 times, so obviously you're really, really good at home. Does it worry you that you're going on the road to face Baylor, and then you go to these neutral site games in Kansas City next week at all, with not having that kind of home crowd behind you that's been really good this year?
Well, it is something that we have to be really good at creating ourselves. We have to be really good at creating that energy, that desire, all those things, whatever your crowd brings you. We have to be really good at doing that, and it's a lot harder when you're on the road. But at the same time, we've had some situations on the road in neutral sites where we've done some good things too. So we've got to build off of those things.
This is the type of win that encapsulates the growth of this team from the beginning of the season to this point.
Well, I think it shows there's been a lot of growth. I don't know if it encapsulates it all, because I don't know if I know that I really understand what that totally means. I don't know, because hopefully we're going to continue to grow. Hopefully this isn't it for us. Hopefully we continue to get better. So I don't know that I would use that terminology. Never really used it before, but maybe. Not sure.
Almost 11 months ago, exactly, was your introductory press conference. You've gone through almost a full season. This is your last home game, so last with us. Did you have any goals, expectations when you first walked out through that carpet, or have you been kind of taking step by step?
Oh, we've been just taking it step by step, because the reality is we don't really know what our team was going to be capable of at that point in time. We didn't really know where the Big 12 was all going to be. We didn't really know any of those type of things. But again, I think if you look at how we finished at the rim in the second half of this game, it shows that we're getting better. We got better from the first half to the second half. We made some adjustments in how we guarded them this game versus the last game, and that was important for us. And I think when I asked them, do you want to go back to doing it this way, they were like, no, this is what we want to do. All right, okay, all right, fine. And so I think they have to have a confidence in what we're doing, and I think they had that and had an understanding of why we were doing it and what that what that hopefully takes away or makes difficult. And so I think our understanding is getting better, and that's been really fun to watch.
Coach, one of those plays at the rim was the play that Kaya had made with like 20 seconds. Obviously she hadn't scored up to that point. I mean, obviously she can make plays like that. She's done it all year. But she's kind of have the off game, and she was obviously looking to pass the ball.
Right.
Everyone's guarded, so she finally just goes in and makes that play. You know, when it's not your night and, you know, it's a pressure-packed situation there, what does that kind of say about, you know, how she makes that play in that moment?
Well, and Kaya's a young lady who is playing on a sprained ankle, and we didn't really know if we'd have her or not have her. And she's someone who, has a great deal of toughness for us on both ends of the court. She's someone offensively that has to be in that attack mode more often. She's someone who kind of defers to other people and says, okay, you can take it, you can take it. All right, if you're going to kick it out to me and I'm wide open, the shot clock's winding, maybe I'll shoot it, maybe not, maybe I'll pass it again. And so for her, she scored 4 points down the stretch. That play was a really, really big play. Got to the rim, took her time, made a secondary move, and finished it. And then hitting 2 free throws was really, really big. So that should give her the confidence that we need her to continue to attack.
For you all to continue this momentum, what do you guys have to do leading into Big 12 tournament play?
Well, we have to go to Baylor and play a really good Baylor team on the road, who is obviously playing at an incredibly high level. And on the road for them to make the shots and attack the way that they did and play with incredible toughness is impressive. So they're playing at a high level. So for us, we're going to have to do our best to get recovered and get ready for that.
Coach, at what point do you give Danny Nichols the last shot of the game? That's her second buzzer beater in like 2 weeks.
Exactly. She's really good at doing it. So at the free throw, I told her, this is what we're going to design. This is what we want you to do. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. I can attack and make things happen. So Danny is someone we rely on in a lot of different ways. And that was a really big play for us.
Any more questions?
Coach, just one, on Samuel, I didn't see her down there. I saw that she played the last game. Was she?
Yeah,
Still-
she's decided to step away.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.